Hi everyone, it's Rachel from Living the Journal Life. So this week we are planning for December 5th through December 11th, and again I'm using the Sweet Kawaii Design monthly December kit because it's huge and beautiful, and both Mom and I, my mother and I used it, so I have a lot of leftovers, and I really wanted to use as many stickers as I could because they were super cute. It's a really I really like the color scheme this year. She always does a great December kit, but there's something just about these oranges and stuff that add a special, I don't know, interest to this year's spreads. I knew this was I had a sort of spidey sense that this week was going to be a tough one. When I was setting this up, I knew that my sister-in-law was ill, and seriously ill. So there was a lot of phone calls and a lot of helping from far away, and I just had a sense that this was going to be a hard week. So when I have a hard week, I try not to pre-plan a lot of stuff. I try and let my weeks sort of just develop as they are. I don't put in a lot of, unless I have a strict appointment that's timed, I don't put in a lot of my to-dos and stuff. I sort of let each day come, one day at a time. I don't like to overschedule. I don't like to have any preconceived notions about how the week is going to go. So this week I'm mostly just setting up the bones. So I need date covers and some full boxes and things like that, sort of the bones of the spread. But I'm not going to put too much extra because I really wanted the week to develop as it needed to. So I ended up taking a last-minute flight to California on Tuesday night when I found out that my sister-in-law isn't doing too good, to help my brother and see what I can do and just generally be there for her and my brother and my other family that's out there. So I took a very last-minute flight, throw everything in a suitcase, sort of fly by the seat of your pants, run to the airport, and get to California. A whole bunch of problems ensued, including she was exposed to COVID, and because I have a genetic disease making me more predisposed to badness, I have been avoiding COVID like the plague because, actual plague. So I wasn't able to go into the hospital, and then everybody that did go into the hospital had to wear full PPE, but I was still exposed to people who were exposed to COVID. So that becomes a whole big deal later. But we found out that they were going to do some last Hail Mary things, and if not, she was going to come home on hospice. So from then on, we were just sort of preparing the house to have someone at home on hospice. Lots of cleaning, lots of, she really liked to do snack trays and stuff, so I put out snack trays for anyone that was coming to visit her, and it was a bunch of, at home getting things ready for my sister-in-law to come home and, just be home. So I didn't actually touch my planner very much while I was gone, and I had to feel it out when I got home. It was just too crazy and too emotional and too much to do while I was there. But I was really glad when I got home and started filling this out that there wasn't a lot of structure that I had to cancel and no, I didn't do that, because the week it was just up and down and changing all over the place. I was really glad that I had that spidey sense not to put that structure in. So the only structure that I put in was my nephrologist visit or appointment on Monday, and then checking in with my Invisalign on Tuesday, because they have this really cool app where you scan your teeth every week, and then a teeth doctor, orthodontist, will look it over and give you all clear to move on to your next tray. So essentially somebody's looking at my progress every week, which I think is very cool. So those are the only two appointments that I really wanted to put in there and make sure that I kept up with, but then everything else could just sort of be willy-nilly. And when I got back from my trip, I was very glad that there wasn't a lot of structure to get in my way. And the only thing that I really had to cover up was the cat water filter, because I did that after I got back in the next week. And so, yeah, that's pretty much how my week developed. It was horrible. My sister-in-law did end up passing away on Saturday. I wasn't able to be with her because of the COVID, and I had to go shelter in a hotel room and test myself for COVID for a few days because I didn't want to if I was exposed to people who were exposed. and I wasn't going to spread that stuff on a plane. So my mother and I both quarantined in a hotel room for 3 days and took lots of COVID tests and sat around, a lot of crying and texting and calling with family, as you would expect. So that's how my week developed. And I got to be in sunny California for most of it, but I was also there for a huge rainstorm. I mean, it was pouring down rain from the moment we woke up until the time we went to bed. It was sort of unusual. I lived in Southern California for a lot of my life, and I haven't seen very many rainstorms like that. So that was kind of fun to be there for the rain. Unfortunately, my hotel room was upstairs and the stairs were outside, so it was very slippy and I had to walk like a 90-year-old lady, and at one point a 20-year-old came whiffing by me and was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm just cranky and have a bad knee, so leave me alone." He was very nice and he was like, "Oh, be sure to go slow." Yes. "Thank you, little man, I will." So I did a lot of full boxes on my wonky kick because I'm still loving the wonky look. I really like how they take the place of the bottom washi, but then you have lots of room for plans and notes and thoughts and stuff. This week did end up being big time memory keeping, and you can see how it turned out here. A lot of sad crying stickers, but that's really to be expected with the week that I had. And for the daily pages, these were the 2 daily pages that I did before I left. And then what I really wanted to do coming home was just have a place to journal about the day, get my thoughts out, sort of process my feelings and such, which I didn't want to share with the internet because obviously that's very private. But I did want to show you how I set them up. It's just very simple. I have washi at the bottom and then some date covers at the top, and I wanted to pick something that was wintry, but not necessarily bright and happy because I wasn't feeling bright and happy. And I really wanted to process some sad feelings, so it felt a little weird to be like, "Yay, super Christmassy," and, talk about death and sadness and stuff. So I went with these cool plaids, which were de-stashed to me by Tanya from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. She's amazing, and she had a bunch of bottom washi she didn't use that she de-stashed to me. And I thought these were just beautiful because they're very wintry, they're very pretty, but they're not super happy and cheery, if that makes sense. And all these bottom washis are from from Sweet Kawaii Design. It's just Tanya is the one who de-stashed them to me. So I also pulled out these wood grains. I thought they're very beautiful, they're very cool, they're very wintry, but again, not happy-go-lucky, yay, Christmas. I'm gonna try and get back into the Christmas spirit here, but it's a little difficult right now because it is, because of real life. So yeah, I just did some very simple, main thing is I want to be able to write about the day and process it, and it's just going to be a pen from here on out. It's just going to be a pen in my thoughts. It's going to be a lot of journaling, which I think is going to help me, but I didn't want to skip the daily pages. I wanted you guys to see, this is real life. Things are not always happy, and I thought about not sharing this week, but I know that there are other people, especially in the winter. A lot of people pass away in the winter, and I wanted to share how I'm processing my grief and how a really bad week looks in my planners, because it doesn't always have to be pretty. It doesn't always have to be beautiful. It doesn't have to be happy. It can just be what you need it to be. Like, your planner should really just be exactly what you need it to be in that moment. And it can change from week to week. I pulled out these date covers also from Sweet Kawaii Design. I think this was from a kawaii kit maybe last year or the year before. And I really liked them because my sister-in-law loved candles. She had a huge candle collection. So I thought the candles were appropriate, and they don't quite match the bottom washi, and I don't think I quite care because it's not about aesthetics. It's more about feelings for my daily pages this week. So anyway, I hope you guys had an amazing week and was much better than mine. And yeah, I hope you guys appreciate me sharing this, because I'm sure there's somebody that's in the weeds going, what do I do with this planner thing? Just make it exactly what you need it to be and nothing else. All right, thank you, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, comment, do all those things. Say hi. Thanks for watching.